Hello everyone, welcome to another Python video. So in this one we will be talking about Python strings. So we will look at basically three things, that is the definition of a string, its declaration, initialization, and how the indexing works in strings. What is immutability, and some built-in functions which can be used upon strings to manipulate them. So starting with the first thing, that is the definition of a string. So a string basically in Python is a data type. It is a built-in data type that is used to basically store and manipulate text data. Now, if I have to create a string in Python, what I have to do is simply just suppose if I take a variable s, then what do I have to give as? I have to give quotes. Now, by definition, if I have to say, then string can be taken as a sequence of characters which is enclosed between quotes. Now these quotes can be single, double or triple. So with the single and double quotes, we can create single line strings, but with the help of triple quotes, we can also create multiple line strings. So suppose if I have a single quote here, now if I write hello world, so now I have created a string as hello world using single quotes. Now if I print it, here we can see that we are getting the string. Now if I have to use a double quote, then I can also do that. So if suppose if I take s2 or string 2 and I use abc123 or 132, whatever it may be, and if I press enter and print its value, here we can see that we are getting the string abc132. Now, as I have mentioned earlier, a string is a sequence of characters. Just like list, tuples, we have a collection of different items. In here, in string, we have a collection of or a sequence of characters. So, as similar to the other built-in data types such as list and tuples, we also use index here. So indexing in a string can be done in two ways. The first one is using positive integers, that is starting from index 0 all the way up to n minus 1, where n is the number of elements. Or we can have a negative indexing, also known as backwards indexing, where the indexing starts from uh, end of the string from -1 till -n, where n is again the number of elements in the list, or we can say in the string. So suppose if I have to access the first character of the string s, then I can do something like this: s, then in the square brackets simply give its index, that will be 0. Here we can see that we are getting h. So now another parameter of this string is its length, that is the number of elements that it contains. So in Python we have a built-in function, that is len function, using which basically we can find a string. So suppose if I have a variable as length, 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 and here we can just call the len function and pass the string and press enter. It will return us the length of the string, and it will be stored in the variable length. Now if I print, here we can see that we are getting 11, which is the number of characters in the string. We have to note that white spaces are also treated as character, that is a single white space will be treated as one character. So that we have to keep in mind. Now coming to another concept, that is traversal over string. So what is traversal? Traversal basically means visiting each element of string one by one and processing it, or we can also say looping through string one by one and performing some operations with each element, and that can be done using loops. So suppose I say for I in range, for I in range length, and then we print s of I. Now in this case we are traversing or looping through each character of string s and we are printing it. So if I press enter here, we can see that we are getting some error. So basically, yeah, I have to give print, not printf here. So let me correct it. It should be Yeah, now it is fine. So now here we can see that we are getting each character in line one by one. So this is basically known as traversal of string or traversing over string. So now basically with the strings we can also perform two more operations, or we can say we can use two arithmetic operators upon strings, that is plus and asterisk symbol or multiplication symbol. So now we will move forward to looking some more operations on strings. So the first one is concatenation or joining of two strings or two or more strings, that can be done by the plus operator. So suppose if I have to create a string S3 which is sum of string S and S2, or concatenation of string S and S2, then I can simply do something like this. And if I print the value of S3, here we can see that we have got a new string S3 which is a concatenated form of string S and S2. So this operation is known as concatenation of strings. We can also use basically concatenate two or more strings. Suppose if I have another string as let us say we have a string as this and another string as this, then we can say channel equals a plus b, and if I print, here we can see that we are getting a concatenated form of string a and b. Now another thing that we can do with the string is replication. So suppose if I write string equals abc, then asterisk into 2, and if I print the value here, here we can see that we are getting the string that we have passed here or typed here two times. So using multiplication operator or asterisk operator, we can do replication of a string, and we can also store it in another variable. So suppose if I say string equals some other, maybe abc again, into maybe some other value, like suppose if we say 5, and now if we print the value, then as you have guessed, we will get abc repeated 5 times as a string. So this operation with string is known as string replication, and the previous one, that is that we were doing with the plus operator here, it is known as string concatenation. So I think that's all about today's video about strings. Now there are some more operations or methods or functions that are provided by Python, using which we can manipulate and operate upon strings, that we will see in the next coming video. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe the channel, leave a like and share the video. And I will see you in the next one. So one more thing, actually I forgot to mention about the immutability of strings. So let us quickly go through it. So what do we mean when we say a particular data type is immutable? We mean by that is that whenever that type of data type is created, hence it cannot be changed after that. So let us quickly look at it. If I say s equals some string, suppose abc 1 2 3, and let us close here, and now if I print its value s, here we can see that we are simply getting our string. Now suppose if we want to change the first character of a string, so naively maybe we do something like this: s0, that is the first character, we are targeting the first character of a string, equals some new character that we want. Suppose we want capital A, and press enter. But wait a minute, here we can see that we are getting an error that says str object does not support item assignment. That's why we say that strings are immutable. That means once we have created a string here that as abc123, then I cannot change its individual character, or as a whole we cannot change the string. Now suppose what if we want to make this change? Suppose in our program in somewhere this change is necessary. So what we do is simply create a new string with that change. We can say new string equals, we will have capital A this time, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3. Now if I print new string, string, here we can see that we are simply getting our new string. Now, if we take a look at the case of list, suppose if I create a list here as 1, 2, 1, 3, and suppose 9, let us say for now, and again print the value quickly. Here we can see we are getting our list, nothing big. Now let us change the first element of this list. Suppose we say 99. Again, if we look at the value, here we can see we are getting our job done. That is, the element is changed from 1 to 99. Now, one more thing I want to show here is that, but before that, let me just quickly print the IDs of these variables, that is their memory address using ID function. So suppose if I say IDS, ID new str, that is our new string, or we can say, and then let us quickly print the memory address of our list L, and let us quickly make another change. Suppose if I say L of 1 equals 100, and then print the value, and here we have the memory address. Now one thing to observe here is that the first string that we have created was S, and it has this address, that is this one, and the new string that we have created to incorporate the change that we wanted has this address, and it is clearly visible that these two addresses are not same. Whereas in our list, if we see, here we see we have address here with the list as 99, 3, and 9. But after we change the second element from 3 to 100, we got a list as 99, 100, and 9. Now these two lists are not same, this one and this one, but if we carefully observe here, their memory address are same. Now if it is tough or not possible for you to visually compare them, we can simply do one thing, simply copy this one and paste here. Then we can use a comparison operator, that is double equals, and copy this, and we can simply paste here and print enter. So here we can see that it is returning us true. That means both these memory addresses are same. So the purpose of this explanation is to introduce with a new term that is used with respect to these mutable and immutable objects, that is objects, or we can say for now data types basically. That is, immutable data types can be changed in place. That means their values can be changed without changing their memory addresses, whereas immutable objects are also known to be non-changeable in place, or their value cannot be changed in place. If we change their value, their memory address will also change, as we have seen in case of our string. So that's it.